This is my Module 9 case study for AEP 859. Summarize what we were given. This is about the Triscuit Middle School. It is in the Rockford School District. Kim is the assistant principal there. She's been assistant principal for 5 years. There's approximately 650 students in this school. They're a diverse community, so the students are very diverse. They have a large African American population. Many of the teachers are Caucasian. Students' IEPs are not being accommodated. They have information that needs to be differentiated for their learning capabilities, and that is not happening within the school. And the writing curriculum needs changed because the school is behind in the benchmark standards of where they should be during the testing times. So the curriculum needs to be addressed in that area. Students are not even answering some of the questions or attempting to answer the questions on the state assessments. The writing done daily in every subject area, especially in the math and reading aspects. I think we, as looking through this information, we need to make sure we're being culturally sensitive to lessons. Relationships with students and staff might be affected. Students want to perform well for people they care about, so I think the school administration can do a lot to affect the relationships between the teachers and the students to help and increase the effectiveness of their writing capabilities of students. So I think that school culture is a hurting aspect and something that could be looked at. Ethical and legal issues. Students' IEPs are not students' IEPs are not legally and adequately being met. We have it's a law that we have to meet the needs of the students, and if they are on IEP, we have to make sure the accommodations we have said we were going to make for them are being met. So that is something that has to be done. Students and staff relationship, equity within the classroom, and assessments and learning in a diverse school. I think we need to make sure as an administration that that is happening in your building. Make sure that the student and teacher relationships are strong, because having good relationships are going to make students want to do well on assessments. And I feel like there's a lack of desire and a lack of want to from the student side point because of the low scoring that is going on in the testing area. Synthesize. The Triscuit Middle School students are constantly performing low on writing standards, and the school is trying to put a curriculum in place that would address the needs of the school. Facts. The people that are involved is Kim, the assistant principal, Ellen, who seems to be a curriculum director or the one that is presenting the information to the students in the assemblies. The teachers will be involved as this process continues to go on the new curriculum being assigned, or they will be the ones implementing the new writing that's going on. The students are obviously affected. The administration has to be involved and be at the forefront of what is happening and make sure their teachers are following through with the plans that the administration is putting in place. And then, of course, the stakeholders will be affected, the community members and everybody involved with the school. Make sure we have a good relation and background with them to have strong community connections. The place this is happening is the Rockford City School District. It's happening at the Triscuit Middle School. They have about 650 students. There's an 83% minority students. They have a high African American population. The majority of the staff is Caucasian. And then 65% of the students at the school are serving free and reduced lunch. So that is a wide variety of very many different statistics. So it is important that we are paying attention to all as administrators and teachers in this school district and moving forward. Facts for the program. This is a public school. This is a 7th grade and an 8th grade. There's inclusion students. There's regular education students. There's a multiple disability population within that students. There's a writing curriculum that is needed to be changed within the program. They're finding faulty aspects of their writing curriculum not making the gains they want to see. There's issues with differentiated instruction happening with the IEPs and the accommodations not being met. And then through all this, if we do go with a different curriculum, our professional development needs to be assigned to our teachers to give them the adequate chance they can to be experts in the field and to adequately teach this new writing curriculum. With going over this case study, some things I was really concerned about was what is the building culture with the faculty and students. I feel like with the population and diversity being opposite on both sides, I feel like that could cause some animosity among teachers and staff and students with them. So we need to make sure that in our building we are doing the best to build a positive school culture within there. Are we being cultural sensitive to students? Are we bringing their culture into the classroom? Are we letting them learn the best we can to successfully accommodate their needs to make them feel welcome at our school? And then when I see it that it's they're doing it in every class, is writing becoming too much writing during school? I don't know if the right answer would be to have it during every class, because that might frustrate some students, especially the students that are struggling in writing, that everywhere they go they see it. But they have a block period of 83 minutes. Are they using that time correctly? And is there something that we could be doing during that time to make it more successful? Informing the stakeholders within that school. Is the administration doing enough? Could we be doing more to ensure a positive and successful result? A positive school culture impacts school and community relations. Stakeholders being involved could change students' disposition of writing. So, maybe if we could bring a community member from the outside that has to write every day, or maybe the school could take a field trip to a local newspaper place to see how impactful writing is outside the walls of the school, and that we are not teaching it just to be teaching it for school, that this writing does have a purpose and it will be very beneficial to some of these students out in the real world. I think would make them have a stronger concept of the importance of the writing, to show them that it is something, skill that we do need in life. Option one is do nothing and hope that the students coming up with the curriculum will work and there will be growth. So that it's just trusting the process, and maybe these are just a few low students in writing, and that as they come up through the school system that they will just eventually be better writers. Option two is that administration makes changes, assigns curriculum that they seem to fit the program perfectly, and mandate professional development by the staff, and they dictate that all in themselves. Option three would be collaborate with faculty, find a curriculum that works best, use a small task force to be experts on the topics that teachers can go to before they go to administration, and then find helpful professional development opportunities, and look at cultural sensitive lessons to help the culture in our school district. Option one, I believe, would be a poor choice. Taking no action really has no repercussion or consequences of solving anything. Obviously, they have had low scores for quite a while, so going in the same avenue would not promote growth, and there'd be a lack of professionalism. Option two would cause tension between teachers and administrator. A dictator as an administrator can cause tensions, and him choosing or her choosing one plan may not always be the best that was for the school. Option three is a collaborative option. It has staff involved. It focuses on the student growth, and it builds relationships within the building. I would feel that option three would be the best option. Implementing the decision. First thing you have to do is get all faculty on board. This is a collaborative decision, but you have to make sure that they are all know that the importance of the writing and boosting our student scores should be at the threshold of it. I would like to form a small task force to ensure implementation. So this would be if we had multiple writing teachers, multiple reading teachers, multiple math teachers, and science teachers, we'd take a few teachers from each of these and have them on the small task force, so they could be the voice for their group, and then teachers would have somebody to go to before they went to administration, so some question could get answered there, and this would bring a lot of different minds together, so we could get some things rolling of finding a curriculum and getting it done that way. Assess to make sure students are showing progress. So after a month's time, we need to make sure what we're doing is showing positive growth. There's no reason to do something that is not showing growth. We need to change the avenue we're working at, and we need to do something. And ultimately, our goal is to students to perform higher on the assessment. Implementing this plan. If that plan doesn't work, maybe as administrator we need to evaluate teachers, see if there is a problem within the teachers. Maybe that their rapport is not great with the students, and maybe they are not doing something adequate. So as administrator, that would be our job to make sure we are holding our teachers to high expectation. Assess all problem areas and make sure we're leaving no rock unturned. If it's not working, we need to go back to the drawing board and collaborate as a whole group. The administration should be able to handle this situation. I don't feel like you would have to outsource it and get other people involved. I think within the building, your school administrator should be able to handle this. I think as in developing this new writing curriculum, we need to make sure that we are doing the best we can because we want student success. So getting the community involved and showing that we are trying to help these students be positive, influential people in the community would be a huge point for us. So I think that is what we would do.